She did it alone. The music, I mean. We'd happen upon clues, uncovered tracks. We'd pile into my mother's car to be ferried to ballet lessons or tennis lessons, and when my mom turned the key, Bach or Mozart would spill into the spaces between us because she had forgotten to turn the radio down after her alone drive to the grocery store. Or, having walked home from school, we'd slip in through the back door and enter a house swollen and trembling with sound. We'd startle the woman at the ironing board, the one with the dewy brow, the one surrounded by starched shirts and Stravinsky. In these moments of stumbling upon, we couldn't help feeling ourselves in the presence of something transgressive and deeply private. We might as well have happened upon a cologne-scented handkerchief or a love letter scrawled in a stranger's hand. My mother seemed inexplicably other and oddly alive in a way that made us all uncomfortable. She would quickly turn off the stereo, straighten her hair, and ask, "How was school today?" Lest you get the wrong impression, let me be clear. My mother was a composed woman, lipstick fresh, hair sprayed, high heels on. She spoke with precision and loved with caution. My mother learned to make do growing up on a small farm in the Kentucky hills, where every extra cent squeezed from the land went back into the farm for tractor fuel, tobacco seed, fence posts, and bull semen. Because music lessons were considered a frivolity, wasteful at best, dangerous at worst, she never played an instrument. After all, my mom's relatives would note, look what happened to Aunt Eloise. Poor girl. She had played the piano, the one in my great-grandmother's parlor, beautifully, they would say, until Eloise's mother died, and then she found herself cooking for a household of 7 men, and then, still a child herself, Aunt Eloise had to stop going to school and raise up her baby sister and keep house for those men, and before you knew it, she went mad and went to the sanatorium where, they said, she ate oranges and orange peels and died young. Only Aunt Eloise played the piano. And look what happened to her. But my mother insisted my brother and I take piano lessons. For a while, we liked the grown-up feeling we got from having to practice, from having responsibilities and obligations, and we especially enjoyed playing duets. When we played America the Beautiful, stuffed full with chords and triplets and hammering bass, Mom, dish towel over her shoulder, would sneak into the living room as if hypnotized. She would swoon under the weight of the music, sink into the sofa behind us, entranced. But soon the novelty of it wore off, and we grew impatient with the time we had to put in on the bench. Piano practice became a chore, a battle site, a place where we tested, pushed, kicked at the fences. I remember the slow tick of the clock. One evening, though, we happened upon a music book we did not recognize, a stray book buried in the piles of music, a beginner's book with notes written in it, over the bars, between the phrases, in my mother's hand. We peppered her with questions. When? Where? For how long? Until she confessed. Apparently, she had noticed the neon sign, piano lessons, in the window of the very small music store across the street from the church. Apparently, they had offered her a deal. Briefly, she had thought she would learn to play in private while we were at school, and she imagined surprising us with a debut performance, perhaps one night after cleaning up the dishes from our casserole dinner. But it was only a brief thing, a silly notion, she said, and she had abandoned the idea in short order, once the free introductory classes were over, apparently. I remember the awkwardness of that moment, that stumbling upon. I remember being aware of my mother's embarrassment. Even more, though, I remember how I longed for her to sit down at the piano and play. Play. Play anything. Play scales, play right notes, play wrong notes. Please, we begged her, play. I am grateful for the piano lessons she gave me. I am grateful, too, for the casseroles. I am grateful for the ballet lessons and the birthday parties and the clean and freshly pressed clothes. But in that puerile way, the children always want so much more from their parents than they can possibly give. I confess that I still dream of my mother at the piano. Still, I would love to see her fingering those keys, hear her heart fumbling for its form, and witness that part of her I so wanted to know, sputtering, stuttering into the open. Still, I would have liked to hear her play.